All right, y'all. So, getting married at the age of 18. Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. LOL.
Wow.
LOL. Anyways, so getting married at the age of 18. Um, I would say that at the age of 18, I'm 24 now. Lotto's 25. Lotto's actually 19. She had just turned 19 like
The month before.
yeah, like literally a month before. Like, so we were pretty young bucks, if you know what I'm saying. But to be honest, I wouldn't even say that we were living like we were married for years before that. Most people, I mean, I commonly see now that people don't move in together until they're like actually married. You know what I mean? And then there's also that kind of that dynamic where some people move in together, live as kind of like boyfriend and girlfriend, have babies, and then take forever to get married. You know, there's like the two. There's like the two. And then there's guys like us or people like us that are just like, no, if we're getting married. You know what I mean? So, I mean, to start this all off, we're gonna have to tell the story on how I proposed.
I was gonna say we should probably tell the story.
Yeah, because it's a fucking funny ass story. Oh, Goofy over here. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Motherfucking
basically.
Lotto's over here fucking it up for her. She lucky I was fucking stood on 10 toes and was like, I'm
Literally.
getting on my motherfucking knee tonight. I don't give a fuck.
I was so upset.
So, I mean, shit. What did we do that day?
We went to dinner.
Yeah, but where? Do you remember?
I can't remember, but I remember I was just so
Wow.
Do you
I don't
even
I don't even remember. Oh, what I do know is that after I took you out to eat, we went to BJ's, huh? Didn't we go to BJ's? And we had like a Pizookie?
No.
That was it. Okay. Well, I thought so.
was not.
After that, after we went out to eat, I took her to this place in Concord. We live in the Bay Area, and so there's this place in Concord called One. It's like this arcade spot or whatever. So I took her to the arcade. I'm like a big gamer. I've always been like a big gamer. I'm not so much anymore, but I was kind of like, let's have a day at the arcade and shit, you know? I was trying to make it hella sweet. I had been planning this out for a good ass minute. Like, I had my ring, okay? I had it for a while too. And then I was just kind of like, when should I ask? You know what I'm saying? And then I was actually getting ready to leave to the military, right? And so I was like, man, like, I can't just wait last minute because, I mean, I'm going to the military and I'm like, I want to know that she's going to come with me too because I didn't want to join the military and be like, oh, I got my girlfriend back home. Like, that shit was not going to work out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I want to go join the military and I want you to go tag along with me in this journey. And I want you to be a part of the rest of my life, you know? So I was like, well, I grew up in a household where shit, my parents have been married for like 20 plus years, you know, Hispanic, Christian, you know, so they're like, marriage, 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 you know. I grew up like as a kid already groomed to think like the ultimate goal is to find a wife and have some fucking kids, you know. And you don't need to hesitate on that or wait on that, you know, like that should be your fucking priority. It should be up there, right? That's kind of how I grew up. And so that's why I wouldn't say I was in a rush. Me and Lada had been dating since I was 15. Okay, so Lotto was like 16 at the time. I was 15 and a half or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, it not big a deal to make. And so she moved in like literally like right after too because like Lotto got kicked out of her home right when she was like 16 and she was like my girlfriend at the time and literally we had just started dating, you know? And so but me, I'm just like I can't have like let's say my girlfriend just got kicked out of her home. I can't just have her bumming it at her like homegirl spot and shit, you know, and not talking down on her homegirls or anything like that, but I was just like, we were young and we were like fucking turning up all the time. And I was just like, I don't want my girl turning up all the fucking time without me and shit. You feel me? And where, I was like, just come to my house and shit. And I asked my moms, I was like, yo, like my girl just got kicked out the house, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, well, fucking tell her to come on in here, good old OG Hispanic mom. That's what they do. They take their daughters-in-laws under their wing and shit, So that's what happened. And so, like when I was 18, it wasn't like anything different, like Lada and I had like we had one big account. We shared everything. We moved as a team and we did everything as like we were already married for like 3 years already. So honestly, it was just like, when are you gonna get married? You get what I'm saying? So not only that, me personally, I'm like a committed guy. I wasn't really looking for anything else. I had found like somebody I loved, and I'm not saying that Lauda had it all or that I had it all, but I truly believed in like, okay, I love you. I care about you. Like I fuck with you, and I would like to grow with you, if you get what I'm saying, Like I knew like a relationship takes investment. I'm hella young and shit, but I kind of already knew that's how the get down was, I'm like, we might be like trash right now, but like we'll get there. We could do it together. Like I didn't want to find somebody that was already, I don't know, had all their shit, you know what I mean? Because somebody could have all their shit together and be like, you don't really like them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm the only one talking. Like, what do you got to
Well,
say
you're
about
telling the
that, baby?
story.
Yeah, you got to tell a little bit of the story too. Give them a little bit of some background too. To start, keep it going off of that.
Well, yeah, like he was saying, we did get together really young, and I wasn't expecting to get married. Um, Even though he was leaving, I was like nervous because we were only boyfriend and girlfriend, and he was telling me that, well, I kind of figured that if you're not married, obviously you don't move together to wherever he gets to go or they send him to. So I just really didn't know what was going on.
Little did she know.
I thought it was weird because there was one, and I remember this really vividly, is that I was on the way, my mom was on the way to drop me off here, and she was like, oh, can I see your hand? And I was like, oh yeah, like why? And she was like, oh, just try on this ring for me. And I was like, okay. And I put it on, and she was like, does it fit? And I was like, yeah, like it fits perfectly, whatever. Little did I know, my mom was like trying to get my ring size or something, like make sure that, the ring was gonna, well, from what I know now, the ring was gonna fit properly. And I was just very like oblivious in the moment. Like I didn't know what was going on. But now that I think back at it, I'm like, damn, like that shit was hella sneaky. I didn't even know. But yeah, it was really interesting.
That's crazy to think that, to be honest. I never really put myself in like your perspective. You're like, oh, great, you're going to the army. Like, good for you, But we're like living together. So it's like, I guess in her mind, she's kind of like, well, it's as a woman, you're not really going to be like, so are you going to marry me or am I gumming or like, what's going on? Because I didn't really mention anything. In my head, I just kind of assumed like, that's how I just assumed. I felt like I knew she was gonna say yes. I was like, she's gonna say yes. I mean, why the fuck not, I have this tattoo on my finger, right? It's Lauda's initials, right? We were boyfriend. Lauda was a whole ass Laura Lopez first. And I got L.A. on my. It's like that person doesn't even exist yet.
I think you got it after.
I got it before, dude.
Oh.
I got it before. I got this shit in December. We got married in February.
Yeah.
So I got this shit like I'm already like,
But didn't you engage? Didn't you propose already?
no, no, I did not.
Do you even
No.
remember when you proposed?
Yes.
When?
You know what? I'm not.
You said that so
No,
confident.
no. You know what? I might be off on
You
my
said
timing,
that so
but I know
confident.
for a fact I got this shit before I even proposed. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact.
I don't know. But I mean, even before we like literally went to go do our whole marriage and sign the papers officially, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause that.
No, you do. You can't say it like that. We're gonna say it the way I'm gonna say it, because that's how I remember it. And if I remember it that way,
No,
that's
but
how it
I'm
was.
saying like you got it tattooed and everything before we officially signed. The
Yeah,
papers
yeah.
over.
But I also got it tattooed before I even fucking proposed to you. I swear,
I
I
don't
got
think so.
the.
I had to find the picture.
All
'Cause
right,
I
we
remember
could
we
go
took a
back. We
Polaroid.
could go back
It's
and
in
pull
the
that
card
shit. We
though.
could pull up the fucking timestamp on that bitch, because I remember I got this shit right, and she didn't even
I
say
literally
yes
have the
yet.
video.
Okay,
when you
whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. Let's say I didn't. But anyways, that's not the point. So I got this shit tatted on me. I guess see, that story's not even that cool anymore. But
Why?
I remember, because in my mind I was like, I got this shit and she hasn't even said yes to marry me yet. But I'm a fucking dog
But
like
no,
that.
but I'm sure you did though.
I know I did.
Yeah, but
I know
I'm
I
sure you
did.
did.
Anyways, so I'm like, yeah, I'm all in. I believe she's gonna say yes. And if she says no, well, I don't care. I still have a cool story to talk about, Like, yeah, she said no.
You were just gonna
Fuck
say you're
it.
standing for LA though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm from LA and I'm married to my city. I got that shit on my ring finger. I was already thinking about like what I'm gonna say just in case. But I got it right. I got this, and I got the date that we started dating. October 1st, 2016 on my arm. That's when we started dating. And I got the ring finger at the same time, right? I got her initials, 2B, right? The LA. So anyways, yeah, so like I just assumed that it was gonna, like, that's kind of how it turned out, like she was gonna say yes, we're gonna move to wherever I was gonna get stationed at, because I was joining the army, and we're gonna live forever ever happy, forever, whatever, however you say that, happily ever after, so that's how I planned it. But I never really pictured in my head like she knows like her boyfriend, who she lives with and has been living with for like the last 3 years, is moving or is going to basic training, and he hasn't proposed and shit, so it's kind of, I haven't said anything about it, so it's kind of like, whoa, that's kind of up in the air,
Yeah, very
so
much.
that must have been like a little trip. So anyways, back to back to the arcade, right? So we're at the arcade, and I took route. Mind you, Lada at the time was always like, babe, take me out. Babe, I want to go on a walk. Babe, I want attention. I want time. I want you to take me
Okay,
out and make
wow.
me feel special.
Wow.
All right? That's how, let's be real. That's how she was.
I would just ask for attention.
Valid
I
though.
would just want him to go like outside with me, like do explore, just go walk around, do something. Like we were always in the house, and the only picture I would see of him was the back of his head
Yeah.
all the time.
I was a big gamer, like I
All the
said.
time. And when I would tell him, babe, can we hang out? He'd be like, we are hanging out.
Yeah.
And I would just be watching TV, doing something, looking at the back of his head all the time.
I have grown a lot from those times, okay? But yes, I really wasn't shit like that. I would spend hours on a game, and then
Hours.
my girl would be like, yo, come on, man, get off of that shit, And I'd be like, she'd be like, let's watch a movie. I'd be like, no, I'd be like, fuck no, I want to play 2K, like I was just
And not
stuck on the
even that.
game.
It would be, he would use the TV to play his game. So I would obviously have to
Oh,
sit
yeah.
here. At the time, before I bought him his PC, and I would just sit here while he would play his games. And at any moment that I changed the TV screen to Netflix or anything like that, he would be so upset and ask me what I'm doing. and how come I changed it. So it was just
Oh man, yeah, that was the old me. I don't even be like that now. But anyways, yeah, so like I said, she would always be asking me to do that for her. So I'm like, well, I want to propose, to my soon to be wife. And so I kind of planned it out in my head where, we're gonna go out to eat. Afterwards, I'm going to take you to the arcade. And afterwards, I'm going to take you on a walk and I'm going to get on one knee and I'm going to propose to you. I even brought this Polaroid did I get you that Polaroid as a gift?
for my birthday.
Yeah, Lada's a big picture selfie girl, and she is, I don't want to say conceited, but she loves how she looks. She knows she's very pretty. She knows she looks very good. And
I
so
do.
she likes to take pictures of herself, videos of
do.
herself all the time. And so I got her a Polaroid for her birthday. And so I was like, I thought that, I planned it all in my little head. I'm like, we're going to go on a walk. We're gonna capture this picture on Polaroid. She's gonna be like, and then we're gonna put a Sharpie on it, like, and mark it and have it forever, like, a story to tell our soon to be kids and shit like that. That's kind of in my head. That's how I pictured it. Okay, so let me tell you how it went down. All right, so we made it to the dinner. Dinner's cool, mind you. We used to smoke all the time. I was sobering up because I had to go to the military, right? But Lotto was still smoking and shit, So Lotto was a little bit high at the time. So I feel like her candle burnt a little too quick that night, I milked too much of my time. And so I took her out to eat. We ate, I dressed up all nice and shit. I told Lotto, look hella good today, okay? Make sure you dress up nice and shit, And then afterwards, we finished eating. We go to the arcade. And I'm thinking of this like Lada's damn near a little ass kid. I fucking took her to burn all this little energy, and by the time we got out of the arcade, she just wanted to go home. Like, she was not having it. She was like, all right, babe. I told her, and it was pretty late. It was pretty late, but I thought that was the dope shit. I'm like, this is what the fuck you asked for. You know what I mean? Like, you just want to go out and explore. Like, I just want to go out and shit. So I'm like, it's like 10:30, and I'm like, babe, come on, like, let's go on a walk. Like, I wanted to take her to the waterfront out here in Vallejo, and I wanted to take some pictures. That's what I told her, right? Let's go on a walk and let's go take a picture and shit, And she's like, no, babe, like, I just want to go home. And I'm like,
crying. I was crying. I was so upset. I was like, take me home. I just want to go home. I don't want to do this. Like, please just take me home. He still got out of the car, opened my door, and like got me out of the car. And I was still crying on the walk. I was like, I just want to go home.
It was pretty fucking bad. I'm not gonna lie. Guys, imagine like the men who are watching this shit, like imagine you got ring in your fucking pocket and your girl is bitching at you talking about take me home, and it literally is like she is in the fucking car facing the other way in the passenger seat, and she's like, I'm not getting out of this car, Gilbert. And I'm like, girl, I'm asking you to fucking go on a walk with me and take a fucking picture with me. What man asked you to do that for? Never have I ever asked that of her. So I'm like, the one time I do, you want to not take advantage of the opportunity? I'm over here getting frustrated. Like, you know what? I ain't even gonna ask you then. Fuck this. Like, I'm in my head like fighting fucking demons, bro. I'm just like, oh my God. But at the same time, I was like, yo, if I get this girl outside the fucking car, bro, she's about to fucking like trip the fuck out when she realizes I'm on, like, if I get on one knee and fucking propose to her, bro, she gonna bug the fuck out like, oh my God. If she says yes, right? Obviously, she said yes. But, right, so, all right, check this out. We parked at the waterfront parking lot, right? I'm just literally talking to her, come on, babe. Like, we're just there for a minute, like, going back and forth in the fucking car. And I'm like, babe, come on. Like, we won't even go on the walk. Let's just take the fucking picture, yeah? And she was like, no, babe, I'm not getting out of the car. She's not even looking at me. She's like this, bro. Legit, like she's like, no, babe, no, no, and she's fucking crying, and then she stops replying to me. She stops responding, and I'm like, wow, you cannot be so fucking for real right now,
That's what it
dude.
was?
Yes. No, 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 because I remember this shit, dog. Like, yes, this I remember, okay?
Oh
Then
my.
I get out the car and I'm like, nah, babe, we're fucking. I start getting aggressive too. I'm like, all right, you want to be like that? Nah, I'm gonna get you the fuck out the car. So I get out the car, I go open her door, and I'm like, let's go, right? And I'm like getting her out, but she don't even like hold like grab my hand or nothing. She just storms out, like storms out the car and starts walking hella forward. She's not even walking with me. She's walking hella ahead of me, like walking hella tough. And then she goes and sits down to the bench.
Yeah, I
And I'm
remember seeing
and
that.
I'm over here like, oh my god, like you cannot be so for real right now. Like,
I felt
why?
so bad.
Why are you acting like this right now? You know? And I'm just like, whatever. Like I'm like, I ain't no bitch. I ain't gonna back out of this shit. Fuck that. I was like, I'm gonna do this. And so I go and sit down, right? And I start giving my little ill spill and shit. And I start telling her, hey, like, I know you hella mad right now. And like you don't want to be here and shit. And I was like, but I just want to tell you, like, I love you. I started talking about how I feel about her. And I was like, I'm leaving to the army soon and shit. And I started telling her like I want you to come with me. And I started telling her like, damn, I'm low key about to get
I
emotional
know
a
my
little
eyes are
bit.
watering. I'm gonna
Low
cry.
key, bruh. Nah, but for real though, I started telling her, like I love you. I literally
Mm.
started telling her like I want to spend the rest of my life with her, that I want to start a family with her. That I want to get her into a home with just me and her, and I just want to like go out on this journey and shit. And then so I get up, and I'm like, so the reason why I have you out here, right? And then I get on my knee and it's like, because I want to ask you if you want to be with me for the rest of my life. And then she's not even looking at me, bro. She's still like she's turned. But then I start hearing her sniffle and fucking cry and shit. She's all crying like a motherfucker. And then she finally turns around and I have the ring in my hand and shit. And she's like, oh, like I could just imagine. And I was like, like just holding out there waiting for some. And then she doesn't even like say yes. She's just like crying so much. She just starts nodding her head and then she hugs me. We kiss. We finally take the picture.
And I'm saying sorry. I felt so bad. I felt like such a horrible person.
Oh
And I
wow.
like in my head I like reimagined like how the whole night could have went. Well, the rest of the night if I
Yeah.
was just like, in a better mood than how I was. But
I was so tripped out on like I'm like, girl, you tired, but I'm the one who gotta go to work in the morning, bro. I was telling her that day. I was like, I gotta wake up early tomorrow. I'm tired too. I'm like, but let's just do this. And so yeah, I mean that's how we got married, right? Like we proposed,
engaged.
we got engaged, but nobody was backing out of it. So we got married like in February 27, 2019. And then shortly after, like literally like 2 weeks later, I shipped out to basic. And so, I mean, I would say like getting married early was definitely not a regret. I mean, at least not in my book. Like if you're married, you know that no marriage is perfect whatsoever. Fuck, dude, it's far from it. And you kind of really get the idea of what it's like to actually love someone. Like you'll get tested and you'll find out just about how much you love somebody by making a lifetime commitment like marriage, because I mean there'll be at times where you're just like you'll surprise yourself at the levels you'll go to, the levels you'll get taken to because you just care so much about somebody else. And so then like 2019, the same year that we got married, Lada got pregnant with our first child, our son AJ, and she
And I
get
planned it.
yeah, we planned this. Hey,
I planned it.
yeah, she planned it. She came to visit me. What was it? AIT, baby. Yeah.
Yes, it
All right,
was.
so I graduate from the schoolhouse, right, like at AIT. This is after basic training, and so she comes, and we already like made the agreement where we're like, well, shit, since we're gonna move out on our own, I'm 18, she's 19. I'm like, let's start a family, like let's have a baby. And I'm like, are you down? She's like, I'm so down. I'm
I
like,
don't remember it that way.
you, bro, we talked about that in letters. You don't remember in
Oh
our
yeah, yeah,
letters
yeah.
that
The
like we
letters,
should start
yeah.
a family,
Yeah.
like we don't want to be by ourselves.
Yeah, I
Do you
didn't want to
remember
be
those?
alone because I felt like obviously he would be gone all the time, like working,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna be moving, and we didn't know
Yeah.
how far yet.
Yeah, we didn't even
And
know.
I just didn't want to be alone. Like I wouldn't have no family. Like this would be the first time that, well, for us, that we would be away from like family with nobody around. So I just wanted somebody to have to accompany me. And
Mm-hmm. So she comes and visits me at AIT, right? And she's like, all right, babe, I'm ovulating. I'm
wow.
like, oh shit.
Wait a
She's like,
second.
and she's like peak ovulation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about like, I'm drug free. I'm basic training and fucking AIT fucking dry. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't had no action shits the whole time I'm out there. You feel me? And so, imagine somebody fresh out prison, boy. You know what I'm saying? One take.
What is wrong with
Hey,
you?
that's the truth though. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh
was
my
in
gosh.
perfect conditions to have a fucking child. So literally, bro, we fucking, that's all it took. Lotto was out there for like a couple days, you know what I'm saying? And every day, you feel me? So we had it. We locked it in. I locked it in. You feel me? Yeah. I'm proud about that shit, boy. It didn't take me because not everybody gets blessed like that. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
yeah.
I know people that be trying to get babies and they're like on year two, still nothing. Like
Yeah. I
it
was
was just
very
meant to be that
surprised.
way. You feel me? Like
I think it was.
imagine the first time you try to have a baby pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw Lauda for like 3 days.
Mhm.
Like 3 days, right? All right,
Mhm.
cool. Like those days she was ovulating. Obviously, we took advantage of those days. And then she shipped right back home. And I'm going to airborne school. And so as mind you, it's like August. She came to see me like in July. In August, she hits me with the babe, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, I'm literally walking to Zaxby's. I remember this shit when I got the text.
I sent him a picture of the pregnancy test, and I was like, "Are we scared or are we scared?" And he was like, "That's not real."
Cause I'm like, I don't wanna, if like, for people that don't know, I'm not like ain't shit where I'm like, that's not real. I don't want, you know what I mean? I'm married, you feel me? I was more like, that's not real. Like, for real? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no way, bro. I'm like, there's no fucking way, dude. And like, dude, I mean, she took more tests. It was real. I'm walking to Zaxby's with my boys, and I'm fucking telling them, I'm like, yo, I'm about to have a fucking baby, bro. I'm like, y'all don't, nah. They're like, no, are you serious? I'm like, y'all, check this shit out. I'm like, this shit real, huh? Everyone was like, bro, that's that positive, boy. And they was all like, you gonna be a dad. I was walking with Boosie. I was with Sharply, baby. Hey, we was walking to Zaxby's. My first time going to Zaxby's too. Oh my God. I literally remember this shit. It was amazing. I was the most exciting news ever, bro. So yeah, that's like 2019. And then like COVID
Mhm.
hits. My son gets born in March 2020, literally the day that the pandemic started and shit, and
Mhm.
that was like the first years of our marriage, you know what I'm saying? And so like, I mean, it was amazing. It was just the beginning, honestly, and like I said, I mean, throughout that entire time, like it's 2025 now, Our anniversary is actually gonna be in a couple weeks, you know. So on the 27th of this month, it'll be 6 years, you know. And I mean, bro, it's been fucking rocky as fuck.